Dear students, so through this video lecture, we are going to use or we are going to see some more programs that uses file handling functions to store data in one file, to read data from one file. So this is a very basic example what we have here. So this is a program to read numbers stored in one file and save the average in another file. So here we are going to deal with two files. We'll be opening one file, we'll be reading all the data. Those are basically numbers. We'll add them, we'll calculate the average of them, and the average value will be saved in another file. So that's what we are going to do with this particular program. So let's see how to do it. So the first thing is that I want a file in which I have some data. So I'm going to create an input file. So now I want some numbers and I want to calculate average. So the best option what I have is to create an Excel sheet, because the generation of number is very easy in case of an Excel sheet. So I'm using a function in Excel. You don't have to bother about that. This is just to get some random numbers. Okay, so I have some random numbers and you can see here the average. Okay, the average is shown at the bottom. Average is 52.86, a long number 363336. So that's the average. Now I'm saving this file as .csv. Okay, that's a file format which is easily readable. It's more like a text document. So even a CSV file can be opened using our text pad or notepad. So I'm naming it as input. Okay, so I'm saving it as input.csv. So the name you should remember, it is input.csv. So I have that file. So this file is no more needed, so I deleted it. So now I have an input file. If you want to see the content, you can just click on the edit. It will open in text pad just like a text file, and we have the numbers and we have seen what the average is. So we have the input file. Now we are going to create a program so that we can read all the data from that input file. So let's try that. So the first two lines I have already written here include the standard library stdio.h. Then I have used in main. Now I'm going to start the program. So I want to have two files. So I need to have two pointers pointing the file. So the first one I'm naming it as fin for the fin for f input, and another one which is say f out. Okay, so I have defined two pointers pointing files, and then I need to have some variables. Okay, because what are the things I'm going to do? I'm going to read numbers. So to reading number I'm using an n. Then I will be having the average. Then I will be having the sum. Okay, only if I calculate the sum, I can divide the sum with the numbers. Okay, the entries in the file. I will be getting the average. So that is done. Then I want something to keep count, because I really don't know what is the count of data that is available in the input file. So I need a variable to count the number of variables available, number of values available in the input file. So these are the basic things. Now what I want is, I want to open the file. So for opening a file, we have the option fopen. Okay, fopen, and we'll be typing in the pointer, right? So how we used to do it? So we used to do it like this. In the last video we have seen that fin equal to fopen, the file name. So file name what we have saved is input.csv. You should be very careful about the extension that should be there. And what we want to do with this, we want to read the data, hence I'm going with R. Okay, now I will do a check whether it is open or not. So if fin equal to null, what should be the condition? I need to have a printf telling that the file not found. Okay, and what if it is not null, which means the file I have been able to, the control has been able to locate that file, so we can start working on the file. So the fin the file is open. Now we need to work on that. So I'm using a command, a while loop, because we need to read from the first number to the last number. All the numbers need to be read. For that I'm using a loop, which is the while loop. And in the while loop, I'm using a command FEOF. Okay, I think this is new for you. What is FEOF? FEOF generally represents the end of the file. Okay, okay, I will put it as a command here, FEOF command. Okay, it tells about this end of file. So this while not FEOF, that is, if it is not the end of the file fin, okay, whatever file that is opened in this pointer, which is our input.csv, if it is not the end of file, then you should execute this loop. That's what this particular statement means. Okay, end of file. So it will be checking whether it has reached the end of file. If it has reached end of file, then it will come out of the loop. If it has not reached, it keep on working within that file. Okay, so inside the while loop, what I need to do, I need to read each data. Okay, each data need to be read, and for reading data from a file you can use fscanf. Okay, just like the normal scanf that we use, we have fscanf to read the data. And here the format of fscanf is that first you need to write the pointer name, that is fin. Okay, from where we need to read the data. That is the only difference. In case of normal scanf, what we do is scanf %d and you will be putting and num or and n. So here it is not that. Here you should specify from where I should look the data. So the data should be read from fin. Fin is the pointer pointing the file input.csv. Okay, so fin. Then what I'm reading is a float value, right? So if I'm reading a float value, I need to present it as %f. Okay, %f. And then where I should save it. Okay, so that I'm giving a value n. So what it does is it will go to the file and it will read the first value, and whatever the first value, that will be stored into the variable n. Okay, then I will do sum equal to sum plus n. So what happens? We have earlier defined sum as 0. So after reading the first value, it got added to sum. And I'm also doing this count plus plus. So what this small loop does? So it reads the value, it adds that value to the variable sum, okay, and increase the value count plus plus. Count is currently 0. So if it reads one data, this count becomes 1. And on after reading second data, the count becomes 2. So similarly, I will be getting how many values are there in the input file, that will be given by the counter. And in the sum, I will be adding every values. So the sum will be having the total sum of all the values, and count will give me the number of values present in the input file. So I have that. Now I can go for average. Average is sum divided by count. So I have the average. Now what is the next thing? Next thing is that I need to open the output file. Okay, so I'm again going for fopen. So we have used one technique here. We have used an opening statement, file open statement, then an if. It can be combined. So it can be combined like this. If, okay, if out, that is the file name, the pointer name for the output file we have planned for. So f out is equal to f open. Now I want a file name. The file is not there in that particular folder. I want to create a file. So I'm putting the name as a output.txt. Okay. So this statement is going to create a file named output.txt, and what should be the mode of it? It should be in the writable mode. Okay, this is readable. This is to read because we just want to read the data. Here we want to write the data, so it should be w. Okay, and here equal to null. Okay, so what I did is I combined this and this statement together. So what we did here, fin equal to this, then fin was compared with null. Instead of that, I wrote the whole statement here itself. Okay, f out equal to f open. So this statement was taken inside and I wrote it as a single statement. Even if you do it as two separate statements, that is perfectly fine. I just combined it to reduce the line of code, that's all. If this condition is satisfied, which means f out is null, which means that file was not opened. So you can tell the user file not opened. Okay, any statement. Okay, fine. Now this condition, if it is not satisfied, it is not null, which means the file has got opened. Now what I need to do, I need to write the value average into that. For that I can use fprintf. Okay, when I am writing something into a file, I should use fprintf. If I'm simply displaying on the result screen, it is basically printf. So fprintf. Now what need to be printed? Okay, the format of fprintf. The fprintf should be also in the same format of fscanf. So where should I write? That's the first one. So I should write in f out. And what is the value that I'm going to write? It is %f. Okay, let it be a formatted, so that I just want to display two decimal places. There are not of decimal places. I want to restrict the display to two decimal places, so I'm using 0.2f. Then it is, what should be printed? avg. Okay, the avg we have calculated here, that need to be printed. So now I write those. Okay, that is the else condition. And now what else is required? I am just need to close it. F close, because I have opened two files, so I am closing the f in first, then I am closing the f out. Okay, then return 0. Okay, that's the end of the program. So that's a program. Now we need to be very careful, because we should save this in the same folder we have placed input.csv and output.txt, because we haven't specified any path. If a path is specified, then it's perfectly fine, you can save it anywhere. Because you haven't specified any path, so it is going to look only in the folder where we are saving the file. So I'm going to save this. Say I'm saving it as say avgnum, some name I'm giving, and I'm saving it. Now I'm going to try running it. So I have run. So there is no statement. Okay, what was the statement that could have come in the screen? It is the file not found or the file not open. These are the only two printf statements we used. Else everything is fscanf and fprintf, which means everything will be happening inside the file. It won't be displayed in the screen. Okay, now let's see what has happened inside the folder. So when I open it now, okay, this is the program that I saved. This is the .exe. We are going to find the application running file, and this is the output file. Now I'm opening it. So what I'm going to find is 52.86. Now let's just cross check whether the answer is right or wrong. So I'm opening the file, input file. So it's open in Excel, and when I select these data, in the bottom I'm going to see the value. It is 52.8636. So we asked it to print only two decimal places, hence it is 52.86. I got the exact answer. So this is how we deal with file handling functions. So the best option what we have here is that we have one file that contains data, we have another file where we want the result. So if you are not using file handling function, this is not possible. So all the values is average and everything will be stored temporarily in a variable, and once the execution is over and when we close it, the data is gone. But now it's not the case. Even after the execution of the program, you can find that we have that data here. Okay, so it's available in the folder. So the input data is available, the output data is available, and this can be used even for further processing. Okay, so this is one sample program. We'll deal more so that you will get familiarized with this. So what I would suggest you to do is, when you watch this video, okay, after I will attach the code, the C program also along with this video, so you can just take it out, okay, run it and just see how it is happening or what is happening. Okay, similarly you need to write it on your own. just by this is just like mathematics. We know that we cannot learn mathematics, or we cannot be a good mathematicians by reading the problems. If you want to excel in it, you need to do it. So this program, you just refer the video, okay, just keep a copy of it and just write it down, and then you just try running your program. There will be some errors, don't worry about that. Just debug those errors and you should be getting it. So for reference, you can use this video. Okay, thank you.